why do I feel a cemetery coming up on the right-hand side? And all they could do is just look at each other with their mouth open. And they're going, yeah, you're right. And I'm going, okay. So I shrugged it off, and it was no big deal to me. But we pulled into the cemetery. I said, well, I thought we were going to the house. And they said, no, we were bringing you here. Okay. So her boyfriend was real cocky, which was...
Oh, great, yeah.
It doesn't wash good with me.
No.
But, yeah, it doesn't wash well with me. But I told him, whatever. He goes, I want you to find something. He goes, go. And I said, well, I'm going to take my dowsing rods, which I had never used before. Why I took them on that particular night, I don't know. But I did. They said, yeah, you can use those. So they used the flashlights, and I'm thinking, oh, crap, we're going to get busted by the cops out here in this cemetery of all places. But we walked, and I walked, and I was following the dowsing rods, which was, like I said, first experience with that. And I walked all the way to the very end, last line of the cemetery, and I pointed down. I said, is that who you're looking for? And he started crying like a baby. And he goes, I take back everything I said about you.
You were directed exactly to where the grave was. And
yes, the exact grave.
Were you in a trance at the time, or what was the source you think that was getting you there?
Well, I always do a prayer protection, and I surround myself and remove all negativity before I do any and all things. That's just been my thing. I remove all the negativity, and I surround myself with white light and protection and positive energy. And I just went on that. As far as trance goes, I would say no. I was just being guided.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Because
no, it's fine.
Because being myself, I'm a psychic medium, and people go, "Well, can you do a trance?" I go, "No, I don't want to do a trance, but I could read what's going on." And they always have that persona in TV about the psychic medium or whatever going into a trance. That's why I was saying that. So,
well, the thing about it is, and I think what they misunderstand is relaxing and removing the negativity and allowing the positive energy to flow through you. I think they're getting that mixed up with just being taken over.
Exactly. Yes.
I mean, that's the best way I can understand it. I mean, I have gone into trance, but for the most part, it's just you don't really need it. And I learned that after a while when I first started doing this, that it's not necessary. You just got to have faith in yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, with me, it's faith in God for me and everybody.
Well, yeah. Definitely.
Just use.
Well, I only work with that. Yeah, I only work through that.
You too.
That's the only way I go. Yes.
Now, okay, we have so many. I wanted to get to your alien story. Is it okay to talk about that abduction?
Sure.
Okay. Why don't we start?
Sure.
We have about 10 more minutes. How did that begin? How did that start?
Where it all began, I don't know. As far as having things, as far as remembering anything, it started happening. I've lost 5 children, and the one prior to my last one is when I think a lot of things started happening. Because
you mean lost in the other world, right?
They passed over.
Okay, that's what I mean. Okay, death.
Yeah. They never went. I never was able to go full term.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fine. They're fine.
Okay, good. Yes, they are now. Yes. Go ahead.
But when I lost my son's twin, that's when even more things started to show signs that things were happening. I started. I remember being shown rows and rows of boxes of what looked like small children or babies. Mm-hmm. I mean, and they were just like a room full of them. And but I wasn't afraid. I don't remember when the abductions first started,
I
don't remember ever being tested.
Okay, where were you at? I'm sorry, where were you at the time?
All I know is we were on a craft or something in a big, huge room, and everything. Okay. It was kind of like a darkened area. It wasn't real bright or anything like white, but it was a darkened area. And on the left-hand side, I know a lot of people are, question the fact whether, those, the tubes that have fluid or liquid in them that has beings in them, that's true, because that was also what was shown.
So what did you feel then? What was it painful? What was it?
No, it wasn't. I was at ease. I was like, I had an understanding of so much. I mean, it's like an understanding of, this is the process without being told anything, because nothing is verbal. Everything is telepathic. No, there's no sounds. Right. I was just shown these things, and there was no fear. I wasn't scared or anything. I was upset still because I had just freshly lost my son, my twin.
Yeah.
I mean, and I still have the other one in the, I've got him in the next room. He was in the hospital for 4.5 months. I've got him on oxygen and a heart monitor, but I'm being shown, that, this must be a process of why, when we lose children, maybe we're not losing these children like we think we are. And this is the process that I think this is the agenda.
Okay.
That they're taken at a certain time, certain term in the pregnancy, because I know that I've lost two within it, that I was 3.5 months into, and then there was no sign of the pregnancy at all. And had to go to the doctor because of bleeding and everything. And this was prior to this one. So I'm like being already shown, right. This is what is going on. I can understand things, if things are explained and understood, then, and to the point of where, okay, it makes sense.
Right.
But there's nothing you can do about it.
It's just the way it is.
It must be a process of, okay, this is how this, okay. The only way I can think about or understand it is what I've been told is, or my understanding is that for population and repopulation. And I was also shown a daughter who I know is there, which was one of the ones that I lost, but they don't grow at the ages like we have, like at our age. How do I say it?
It's okay.
Our age span.
Okay, so how do they grow then? How would you?
It's like they're older.
Okay.
It's like they're older. And again, there was nothing verbal, but there was an understanding. I automatically knew she was when I was showing her.
So you're saying the communication again is all telepathic, and
yeah,
boy, could you save a lot of money on your phone call if we could do that down here.
Yeah, there's no long distance. Yeah,
I know.
Well, you know what? This is old. This is the old style of communication too.
Yes,
and people don't understand that.
Yeah. So,
and that's why. But when people another thing people don't understand is when they say a prayer and they're not saying it out loud. This is half of the communication.
It's telepathic. Yes, it's not.
That's right. Verbal.
But in the spiritual world, in that sense, there's no time to. Yeah. Everything is already known. It's preconceived.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And
they don't have a timeline.
Exactly. Now you went through that experience. That was a tremendous experience for you.
Yeah, it was, and it's. I mean, I miss every one of my kids, but I understand.
It's okay.
I know it's. There is an understanding, and there's just no way of getting past it. Everything is the way that it's supposed to be. Everything happens for a reason. There's no accident.
Correct.
As much as I don't want to lose my kids, but I have an understanding of where they're at now.
and you're comfortable with knowing where they are because you see them.
Right, and I can still communicate with them. I have the ability to do that. Because just because you can communicate with those on the other side, that doesn't mean that's the stop of, that's the only level that you can communicate at. Because everybody communicates at that level, no matter where they are in the universe. I mean,
exactly.
It's faster than light speed.
Some people may not understand. Some people do. But in my case,
right.
In my case, I have felt my grandmother's spirit when I've been in distress. And I felt her hand on me, like touching my back. Yeah, like she did when I was little. That's how I...
Comforting you.
Yeah, that's how I knew it was her. And that's how you know your kids are... You have experiences like that, too.
Right, exactly. And not only that, but I hear the voices. I'm able to feel, the touch, smell, taste, hear, and see. I have got all the senses that go into all of that. So it makes it, and the more open you are, the more things that you're able to pick up on too.
Very much so, yeah. Well, but that's the hard part for some people that I believe. I mean, it's hard for them to be...
It's an adjustment.
Yeah.
It's an adjustment.
How did you drop your fear to be more open in life, besides that 6th grade experience you had?
It took a lot of getting away from certain people, a lot of negative people. When I'm around negative people, I can't pick up.
Okay.
And it wasn't until I got away from a lot of, and you're going to have to pardon me for saying this, but it's the truth. When you have so much dogma from certain religions or a particular religion, and you hear constantly, I've been asked twice now not to even bother coming to these churches because of what I do, and I'm cool with that.
Right.
But because I know where I stand on things.
And I could understand how in religion, I believe in it very much, as you know, but I know there's good and bad. There's good and bad in it. And people, the evil people are the ones that screw it up, but there's a lot of good. And the same thing with the spiritual stuff. A lot of good people. It's all the same. We're all connected to George Burns, right? I mean,
well, the thing about it, yeah, right. And the thing about it is they think that only the prophets or only special people are able to make the communication or make that call, and that's not right.
No, because
there are so many of us people like me and others that are turned away or refuse to go to church, but yet still believe in God and everything else because of what that religious factor holds.
Yes, but don't let that stop you, because you get messages from God all the time, and a lot of people do. And I mean, you even had a vision of heaven. We have about 3 minutes. Would you like to talk about that before we close?
Well, number one, I've looked in Jesus's eyes, and I know that they're not brown as they're being painted in these paintings. They are blue, a blue that we've never seen on this planet. I mean, they are blue. And I've had past life dealings with him as well, and had recall on and shown that, and as well as being in, as far as in a big, huge, tall. It's like a big library full of scrolls, and I remember seeing myself floating with it was like a little cherub angel, just like that they depict in these pictures, and it's true, they're little chunkies. And that we were just like floating, looking for something, apparently like a record, because I'm always wanting to know if I'm on course, if I'm on the right path of things, and apparently that's what I set my goal at night at times, to make sure that I'm on that path. And I remember looking over and not speaking it, but just thinking it, wow, we're pretty far up here, because it was like way up.
What did you feel? What did you feel?
I mean, it was euphoria. I mean, there was no fear at all. It's
not
I'm
fear.
scared to death of heights.